You like just come over here and die, and we have to pay your bill.
This is terrible. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sips and Scripts, the podcast where we make a cocktail and talk about one of our favorite films from past and present. My name is Terrell Bernard. I'm a film enthusiast. You can follow me on Instagram at T_rel_B.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kayla Rose, and I'm an entertainment blogger at InMyTheater.com.
And I am Kirsten Jackson. I am a blogger and cocktail influencer at lowcountrysocialite.com. Welcome to the show. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey. So, before we begin, what is everyone up to this week? Terrell, what you got going on?
This week, nothing in particular, but I did get a chance to see my alma mater play football over the weekend, so that was fun for all.
And who is your alma mater? Where did you go to school?
I attended Georgia Southern in Statesboro, Georgia.
Oh, the mighty Eagles.
Southern University.
Wait, we are the Eagles, right?
Yes.
That's funny.
Who has to ask?
I went to Georgia Southern as well, but I never went to a football game.
Really? That's
ever. I was either like too hungover or still asleep. So
That's funny.
Wow.
Yes. Well, that's great though. Kayla, what you got going on? What are you working on this week?
Ooh, so I'm going to work on a Thanksgiving post for In My Theater. And yeah, that's what I'm working on because no one highlights Thanksgiving movies, and there are maybe one or two.
That is so true. What Thanksgiving movies are you looking forward to watching during this Thanksgiving season?
Well, I am going to do the one Thanksgiving movie that everyone thinks about, which is Charlie Brown. Let's actually talk about it. Everyone's like, oh, that's the movie, but I never hear anyone really talk about. It's a really cute movie. I like it.
It really is.
Nice.
I gotta find a movie to watch. So I guess that's what I'll be working on this week.
Absolutely.
Usually after we eat dinner or something, because our family's pretty small. So we either like cook a little something or we go out to eat and then come back home, or like later that night we watch a movie together. So mom is hard to find a movie to watch with. Oh my God. It's a freaking nightmare watching a movie with her, but that's my boo.
That
So-
is a boo thing.
That's my boo. But she's difficult. Like, she likes to talk all the way through the movie. And yeah, and she likes to so whatever movie we watch, whether I've seen it before or not, I'll be like, no, I've never seen it before. So, because she'll be, what they doing now? What's coming up next? Why are they doing that? What's gonna happen? And I'm like, So I'm like, look.
So telling the truth. That is definitely your mom.
Ooh, that's funny.
So yeah, so that's what I'm working on this week. Today, for our episode, we are going to talk about one of my favorite holiday movies. But I'm going to ask you guys, like, do y'all think it's a holiday movie? The movie is Last Holiday. It's one of my favorite movies. But I think that I like it because it is a holiday movie, but it's not like Christmas explosion.
Right. I don't know if to me, it was around the holidays. It was snowy, but to say it's a Christmas movie or a holiday movie, I'm like, okay. It is a movie that I watched during the holidays because it is, in the snowy fields of wherever she went. I don't even remember knowing. Was it France? Paris?
She was like in. I get nervous saying it. It's in the Czech Republic, right?
Oh, okay, the Czech Republic. I was like, I didn't quite get that. And like, it didn't quite say specifically where she was going. I remember they talked about wanting to go to France and Paris, but then like she was just on a plane. And I was just like, oh, okay. I don't actually know where she's going.
Yeah, I get nervous saying that because I'm terrible with geography, and I know that it used to. Did Czech Republic used to be Czechoslovakia, and Czechoslovakia is no more?
I think they split the countries, and I
Right.
I think it used to be Czechoslovakia, and then they split, and then there's the Czech Republic, and then another country that I can't think of the name of.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, my brother would cringe if he heard me saying that stuff because, you know, like he used to visit that area, and I think he even dated someone from the Czech Republic.
Spicy.
I think, but yeah, so I don't know, but I know it used to be Czechoslovakia, and then they split into Czech Republic and something else. So no, yeah.
Geography.
Or is it used to be Yugoslavia? I don't know. Okay, let me just stop.
Wait, you might be right.
What is it?
I think it might have been Yugoslavia that split into Czechoslovakia. Then they called it the Czech Republic.
Okay.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
World, I like geography, but yeah, I get lost in countries.
Yeah, I think geography is pretty cool, but then like there are a lot of countries. There's like over 200 countries. And there's like little tiny ones where you're like, oh, okay.
Y'all just over here by yourselves, huh? Just hanging out.
Yeah, like, okay, I didn't even know y'all was over there. Yes. Okay. So to pair with our feature film Last Holiday, we're going to talk about a popular kind of Christmas drink, which is mulled wine. And so it is a popular Christmas drink in Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. And it's really easy to make, and it's something that I've been wanting to kind of try, because you just put all the stuff in a crock pot and let it simmer. And like I've seen people make it and it just smells so good because of all the spices and stuff. But so you basically just take like a half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of water, you'll take an orange and slice it up, and an entire bottle of red wine, and you can use the cheap stuff, some cloves, maybe about 10 cloves, some cinnamon sticks, 3 star anise, and some apple slices if you'd like. And you just dump all of that in a crock pot and let it simmer down. Yeah, in about half an hour, you've got a warmed up drink that is all Christmassy and spicy and delicious. So yeah.
We love to see it.
Wow. Yeah, you made that sound great. I don't know what it is or what I would be drinking, but I'd be like, this is tasty.
Yeah. It's good on a cold night, and we've been having some cold nights here lately. So, So as usual, pictures and the recipe will be up on the website along with the episode that you're listening to now. And so let's move on to talking about our feature film. Once again, it is one of my favorite movies, and I am a Queen Latifah super fan. So
yes,
yeah,
we do love a good queen.
We do love a queen.
Yes, Queen Latifah.
And y'all,
great.
There
great
was
at everything she does.
Yeah, there was a scene in this movie that I was like, "Ooh, Queen, hey girl." Okay.
I think I know what scene you're talking about. But you want to tell me?
Well, this might not be the same scene that you're talking about, but the day that she was sleeping in that big, gigantic bed, and she was talking to the lady who puts the stuff away, but she just looked so comfortable in that bed. It gave like ultimate relaxation. I was like, ooh, yeah, you look good. And also that bed looks good. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a super lush scene.
I was gonna say I love to see Black women lapped in luxury, and it was just yeah.
Yeah, Tara, I was gonna ask you, not to put your business out there, but
Mhm.
I know how you feel about plus size women with big titties.
Oh wow!
Oh, this is not going on our podcast.
Wow,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
that came out
Listen,
of left field.
first of all, everybody knows your obsession with Jill Scott. That is not a secret.
Very true. Very true.
And I know your wife. Sorry to put your business out there, but I know your wife.
Yes.
And so yeah, what do you think about Miss Queen Latifah?
I adore Queen Latifah. Adore her. She is magnifique.
Yeah, I love her so much. Yeah. So
And she's multi-talented. Everything she touches is perfect. From rapping to
Yeah,
jazz
absolutely.
to acting, everything. Yeah, she's the complete package.
right. And I love one of my favorite things about her before I dive into this movie is like her ability to pivot is just unmatched. Like, okay, so well, we all know she started off as a rap star, like a breakout rap star with a female rapper. But like everybody knows that the hip hop world is fleeting. You do not stay on top forever. And it's almost like she was like, okay, well, I'll do something else. And she went on to acting. And then okay, I'll do something else. And then she went on to Broadway. Okay, I'll do something else. And then went on to a talk show. Like, she's just amazing. Like,
I feel like Queen Latifah does not get the flowers and the recognition that she deserves, and she deserves them. So you're gonna get them here, sweetie.
Yes,
Oh,
we
definitely.
love you. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but we love you, boo, so much. I love you. Amazing. So last holiday, Queen Latifah is in this movie, obviously. It also stars LL Cool J, Timothy Hutton, Gerard Depardieu, Alicia Witt, and Juan Carlo Esposito, who also does not get the flowers that he deserves.
Oh, he's special. He's special.
Oh, yes. He is a
everything
diamond.
he does. He knocks it out of the park. Everything. I love him.
He does not get the recognition that he deserves. Like, I mean, we grew up watching him and like Malcolm X, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues. I mean, Once Upon a Time. He is in Once Upon a Time, and just he is wonderful, and I absolutely love him. So it was it's always a joy to watch him on screen. So yeah, let's dive into our movie. So the film begins around the Christmas holiday. Yes, let's do it. So the film starts around the Christmas season with Miss Georgia Bird, played by the wonderful Queen Latifah, and she is an employee in the cookware department of a department store. And I think it must be like a chain of department stores run by Matthew Cragen, played by Timothy Hutton.
Yep.
So we learn in the beginning that she is like super shy. She's quiet. We see her in church and she is whisper singing. And I just thought it was so cute and so interesting to watch Queen Latifah play a role like this, because we know her as like Wild Khadijah and a rapper, but she's like playing this little mousy, kind of laid back, quiet character.
Absolutely, I agree.
So we also learn that she loves cooking and she does a lot of like demonstrations in the store, and people come like from the neighborhood to like eat her cooking. And I was like, look at that, being an influencer before influencer was influencing.
Right. I love that. Love that for her. Like, she knew these people's allergies, everything.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, she works in the store, but also Sean works in the store, which is the love interest in our film, who really kind of shows up in the beginning and then again in the end.
Yes.
Yes, which I actually kind of appreciated, that it was a love story, but it was also like a finding yourself story. So, yeah, the bulk of the movie was not, oh, I'm trying to attract this person or we're trying to work these things out. It was like, I'm finding myself, I'm going through life, or like the rest of what I think I have of life. And then love comes at the end. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
It was a great take. I love that. I'm
Yeah.
glad we didn't spend the whole movie swooning over LL Cool J.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick
So
question. Does
sure.
LL Cool J play any other person other than LL Cool J? Every time I saw him, I was like, this is just LL Cool J. He's licking his
Bruh.
lips. He's flashing the eyes. He's doing his LL Cool J thing. In every movie, he's just always LL Cool J to me. He's never anyone else, which is fine because I like
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
I love LL Cool J, but he does not have a lot of range. And
No.
so sorry, LL, I love you to pieces. But yeah, he does kind of always play like a one note character, which is cool. That works for him. And I don't think to me, he doesn't seem like the type that's like striving for range. He does what he does. He does it well. Run him his check, and then that's it.
Right. That's what it is. Run me my check, and I'm gonna just be here.
But what did y'all think about the Possibilities book? Which I
Weird.
was like, that is creepy as hell.
Weird as hell, creepy as hell. I have never seen such a thing. I don't know why it was in this movie. People are not pasting your photos. No, just that was
Where
weird.
did she get a picture of him? Where did the picture come from?
They talked about it. It was his Employee of the Month photo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, that's really creepy.
Yes. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but at the end, he sees the Possibilities book, and he's a good man, because I would have ran for the fucking hills. Like,
but like, I mean, like, I get it's supposed to be like what are those things that the children do every year? A mood board?
with the slam book?
No, the things
the
where they
thing.
cut out pictures from magazines and put them together. And
Did I show my age when I said slam book? I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
What that is?
Slam
Vision
book.
board.
That's terrible.
It was like a book vision board.
Yes, the vision board.
There it is.
But her vision board was quite creepy because she was using real people. You're supposed to use magazine clippings.
Right. Not the man of your dreams in your book, like a 12-year-old. Like, that was like a 12-year-old move.
Yeah, it was quite creepy. And he handled that really well, because I would have been like, I kind of liked you and thought you was cute, but now I see that you crazy.
Right.
She wasn't crazy.
She wasn't crazy, but Terrell, how would you?
She was really shy
and obsessive.
Well, not obsessive. She knew what she wanted.
Okay,
but
that's
she
only
didn't
because
know how to get it.
Fair enough. And fair enough, but you're only saying that because you know the character. You've been watching her for 2 hours. Now, but if that was you, and you like found a book that one of your coworkers had with possibilities in it, with your little head cut out multiple times and pasted on groom photos and wedding day photos, would you think that was cute?
When you say it like that, yeah, it sounds like a horror movie, but it's just the tone you're using.
I'm just saying. I just put it out there.
If you were just sitting in your chair and then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is going on? What? Yeah, that would freak me out. That would definitely freak me out.
Thank you. He handled that really, really well. So anyway, but one of the things that I had not thought about until I watched this movie, like the last time preparing for this episode, I was like, I think that's pretty cool that it is teaching us that we are closer to our dreams than we think. Because in the beginning of the film, they do not show that she works with LL Cool J. The first thing we see is her cooking, and then she opens the book and you see LL Cool J's face. And so, if you were a first time watcher or viewer of this film, you'd be, oh, she's a typical middle 40s woman. She has a crush on LL Cool J. Okay, cool. But then we go to work and we realize, oh, LL Cool J is the guy at work. So I was like, yeah, okay, look at this film teaching us we're closer to our dreams than we think. Because yeah. So she has like a little they have a flirtatious thing going on, but neither one of them has made the first move. And I have a question for you two guys, because I struggle with this myself, and I've struggled with it for years. How do you know that somebody likes you?
When they open their mouth and say that they like you.
So everybody who's ever talked to you likes you?
Absolutely.
Or do you mean when they tell you they like you?
I think that for the most part, anyone who I have been involved with has given off the flirtatious vibes, and so it just happens. I don't know if we've never ever necessarily just been like, oh, I like you, you like me, I like you, I think you're cute. Like, it just be like, you hang around me a lot, you talk to me a lot. So I'm like, okay, well, and then it just boom, wherever we go next.
See, I struggle with this because I will be out with people, and then when we get home, they'll be, yeah, that guy, he liked you. And I'll be, who? Huh? I am not good at that. Like, I can't tell when people are flirting with me. I'm like, they're just being nice.
You don't be picking up on the vibes.
No. You got to be like, hey, girl, grab me by the neck and say, girl, I like you.
Oh, God.
And I want you.
And I want you.
And I need you, baby.
And I'm going to have you.
Oh, God.
Please don't do that to me. That scared the shit out of me. Terrell, what about you? Can you tell when people are flirting with you? Do you know?
Never. I don't believe anyone has ever flirted with me.
Wait, you are married.
Terrell, I have
so serious.
I have seen people flirt with you, Terrell. I have.
Well, I didn't know.
I mean, we've been to high school. I've seen it.
I didn't, but the thing, I don't pick up on stuff like that at all. So
me either.
I would have been oblivious to what was going on. If somebody was actually flirting with me, I'd be like, because I like to have fun, have a good time, chat, whatever. Then I go on living my life. So,
yeah. It was cute to see these two characters like flirting with each other, because okay, LL Cool J, like the sex symbol of the 90s, Queen Latifah, like this loud, boastful rapper, and they're like, hi. So that was cute.
I will tell you that him not just stepping up and being like, okay, I was like, ooh, Lord, now this is gonna make me upset.
Yeah, I really wish.
Likes you too, so you might as well just have been like, you want to go have a drink, like what, like that get old real quick for me.
Yeah,
he was about to though. He was about to ask her out. Then he did ask her out.
Yeah, but I think people take for granted that guys get nervous too, and I know we're taught that the guy's supposed to make the first move. But guys, they experience, being nervous too. And so
but
it was interesting to watch, Mr. doing it and doing it and doing it well.
Oh,
that was interesting to watch him be nervous around a woman, but you never know. So what I will say, one of my favorite characters in this movie was Rochelle, and she was a small character, but I am so thankful for friends that I have that are like her. Rochelle is the one that was her friend, the coworker and friend, and she was like, "Yeah, you need to let him get some of that booty." And
Yeah.
Okay, I remember her now.
yeah,
Okay.
Rochelle was, yeah, she was ready. And she was like, "Yeah, you just worry he's gonna get up in that booty."
Mhm.
And usually, like, I am thankful for friends like that because friends like that push you to get out there.
Right.
And so, to every friend that I've had in my life like that, thank you. Even though sometimes I cringe when you come around, I love you.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you really do need a friend who's gonna push you and motivate you to kind of get out of your comfort zone. And that's all Rochelle wanted to do. She wanted her to realize that there was more to life than living this timid store worker. There was more to life. I love
Hmm.
that for her.
I love
Rochelle,
that
you get an
too.
A plus.
Yes.
Even
Rochelle is the daddy of this movie, okay? She
mm-hmm.
brought the swag. She was great. And I just appreciate people like that who can see and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So I love that. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of Rochelles in my life because a lot of times I can be like Georgia and be kind of, I'm loud, but I can be real like worried and timid about things. So I'm thankful for the Rochelles in my life. So moving on to the scene that pushes the plot into motion. We have a little flirting scene from our two romantic leads, and Georgia bumps her head, and we need to dissect this whole scene because that
Ridiculous.
shit ain't make no sense.
It was ridiculous. I was like, that little hit on that damn cupboard would not have knocked her ass out like that. Ain't no
And
way.
It's KO'd.
it
I mean,
from
just
yes, she went out like she folded up like a damn lawn chair, and like the whole scene, start to finish, was just okay. Like I love this film, but I was like, okay, that was a reach, like a hard reach, um,
hard.
hard reach. So she bumps her head, gets knocked out. Sean, being the romantic gentleman that he is, instead of saying, "Hey, someone call 911," he
Okay.
he totes her up to the medical
Yeah.
department, which I was like, okay, I have not worked at every job on earth. I know that some places do have medical departments, but we have a medical department on site that is for the employees that can diagnose a fatal illness.
Have
Really?
a CAT scan at that. I was
Yeah.
just like,
Yes.
huh?
A used CAT scan. Like
Yes.
where did it come from?
And then a faulty CAT scan.
At that. But you know what?
Oh,
If we even read a little, why that man put her on? No, I was like, that was so cringeworthy because this movie made it seem like Queen Latifah was like the biggest woman in the world. Like she wouldn't eat her own food. She has to eat her lean cuisine. And then you like grunting and stuff while you're trying to move her. I was like, okay, now this is just unnecessary. You could have called
yes.
people.
Yes, that it was a lot of spoken and unspoken stuff about like weight and diet culture, because there is one scene like before that where she is cooking, but then she won't eat her own cooking. She only eats a lean cuisine, and I was thinking, gosh, man, diet culture is like so strong, and I'm hoping that it has evolved because me watching this film, what, 15 years later, I'm like, there's no way in hell she could have thought that a lean cuisine would have been healthier than eating the baked chicken and collard greens that she prepared herself of fresh food,
Right, exactly.
vegetables. Thank you. Like the chicken wasn't fried. The collard greens they weren't made in that typical black way with neck bones and shit. It
Mhm.
was like blanched vegetables. Like that was so much more healthier than a freaking lean cuisine.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah. Because everybody knows that frozen foods are loaded with sodium. Like even lean cuisines, they have a ton of sodium. So to help them be preserved. So I was like, wow, that was a lot. And then that little dry ass lean cuisine that fell in her lap, and she's, oh, I got to fix my clothes. I was like, I know that dry ass rice ain't do shit to that little ugly ass sweatsuit you got on, girl.
First of all, ugly. I used to have one of them back in the day. That was cute. Don't do that. That
I
was a
stand by.
danskin. I just know that was a danskin.
I stand by what I said.
Now, this was my first time ever watching this film.
Really?
So, yes, I never saw this film before.
Okay.
I knew about it, but I didn't watch it. Said it wasn't really my speed when that's why I didn't watch it in the first place. But the first part of this movie, I really wasn't feeling it. I was like, is that what we're gonna do? And I was like, I'll give it a chance. But as it went on, I was like, oh wow, now it's good.
Yeah, and I think that is, yeah, that's a super valid take on that, because you can kind of tell that the first quarter of this movie is just there to push us into the next quarters. Like, it's not, because that whole medical scene did not make any damn sense. Like, I don't know everything, and I've worked at jobs that have a medical department, and it's usually for like facilities or places that have a ton of employees, a ton of like clients that live there and can't leave. Like, when I worked in a prison, of course, there's a medical department. When I worked in a mental health hospital for children, there wasn't necessarily a medical department, but they had a nurse's station that administered medication. But to have a medical department that can diagnose a fatal illness, and all in the same day, you don't get then you go and talk to your insurance people, and it's like, what? You don't get a second opinion.
Exactly.
You don't discuss any treatment options, even if it's treatment just to make sure that your time left is easier. Like, nothing. They're just like, yeah, you're gonna die. So
yeah,
all right, report back to work.
Weird. Right.
Yeah,
that was really weird. Like, the HMO lady was super rude. I'm like, damn, I'm about to die, and you just like being so off-putting, and I hated that. I was like, bitch, okay, now let me whoop your ass while I'm here. I got 3 weeks to live.
And then what's funny though is that was actually the only part that made sense to me, because like, insurance people are rude as hell.
Real life. Now it was real life. Now I ain't gonna lie.
Everything else was some bullshit, but that was like pretty accurate. And I've heard like from like documentaries and stuff that I've watched about like, booming healthcare and big pharma, that like insurance agencies, like I was listening to this one lady and she was like, yeah, I'm usually just rude to people because the situations are so sad that if I'm not rude to them, I'll burst into tears, because there's so much because there's so much that insurance won't cover, and like these people are calling and they are desperate, and you have to tell them that your surgery is not covered or your medication is not covered, and I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And like, I'm just rude to them so I can get them off the phone, and then sometimes I go and cry after that because the situations are so sad. And I was like, whew. But her requiring a brain debulking surgery. What was it called? A cranial debulking? Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't know what was. I was like, that doesn't sound like you might even survive that. Like, I wouldn't even want that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. And then I was and I while watching that part, I was thinking like, well, should I be annoyed that she's not even trying? Because I was thinking of all the ways that she could come up with that money. So, she cashed out all her savings bonds and her bank account and her 401k, all of that stuff. Did we ever get a total of how much she got?
No, but it had to be a lot to be a grip, because she was spending.
I mean, she had $4,000 a night to stay at the hotel. Like, It was a lot of money.
Thank you.
First
Thank
class
you.
upgrade, presidential suite,
Mhm.
all the excursions, the
A
spa, like that was
helicopter.
exactly. I
I,
was like, what is going on? Like,
I think, let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, it says the movies never said how much she had, but you know what? She came up in the between
yes.
time. She $1,000, so it probably was more
Right.
than that.
And I was like, dang. And then, I was thinking, well, damn, that house looked older. So I was like, it's probably a house that her mama left her or something. She can't like refinance that house or something. Like, I'm like trying to think of, girl, we need to get you that surgery, but we also need to get you a second opinion. Can we do
Yeah.
that at least?
At least, yeah, before you spend $300,000
Yeah, for
without the
them
That's what
to.
anesthesia.
I felt so
Yes.
weird was that, okay, she had all of this money just like in bonds. I don't know where she got this money from. Everything that she cashed out, I'm just like, damn, how much money are we all really sitting on that we can cash out for something? Like, I mean, if she would have cashed out like even like a little tiny portion, she probably could have made her life so much better than what it was back in Louisiana. Because I mean, she had to have a substantial amount of money to do all of the things that she was doing. Even $4,000 would probably have like upgraded at least her car, the car that she was so worried about, like something.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I had an emergency, I could probably put my hands on about $25 right now. So
Right. Like that's why I was like, what? Like what am I doing wrong that I don't have all this money sitting around? Because honey, if I fell off a bike today, the medical bill's gonna be a little too high.
yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll picture Kayla riding a bike and then just tipping over, like, oh no.
And then she's slowly going down, thinking about, do I have enough PTO for this? Do I have enough 401?
Like,
Because that's what I
literally.
think when I fall. Like, I done got older, and falling don't mean the same as it did when I was a kid. When you was a kid, you fail, you get right back up. But when I fall as an adult, I be down there for a while thinking, oh, do I have enough PTO for this? Is anything broken? Stay still. Are you okay? So yeah. Well, she came up on a lot of money, and whoo.
Quick question. What if that circumstance happened to you and you were able to cash out that much money? So you would do it and try to treat yourself, or would you like resign yourself to knowing that this might be the end? I'm going to live my life. Which route would you take if you had been in that same situation?
Boy, that's hard. I probably would get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Because
Number one.
I was just like, now y'all, this is something that did not make any sense to me in this movie. She went through that CAT scan several times. It was like twice. And then she went to see another doctor. And I'm like, so none of y'all caught that this was the wrong person, the wrong diagnosis, none of y'all caught that? None of y'all.
That was just, and I am forgiving on that part of the film, because I'm like, I know you're just trying to push us into the next part, but golly, that could have been better. Because one, Lampington's is a made-up disease. It's a made-up disease, and she just took it like, and I don't know, maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that is supposed to show us what kind of person she was.
Mhm.
She was a person that just went through life, took whatever was given to her, dealt with it. And so she even took this shitty diagnosis from a department store.
Yep,
So I'm
she
gonna give it
did.
the benefit of the doubt and just say that that's what that was, because anybody else with some damn sense would have been like, thank you, Dr. Gupta. I'm gonna get a second opinion, and
Right.
yeah, you be blessed.
Right. That's what I would have been like. I was just like, why are we taking the words of this man who works at the top of the mall, like in the
top of the mall?
Like, I just don't get it. I was just like, no, sweetie, no, sweetie.
Not the top of the mall. Oh, that was funny.
Where you headed? Yeah. Top of the mall.
Yeah, up to work at the top of the mall. Oh shit, Kayla, you got down on that one. Yes. But I will say one thing that this medical scene did give me was I scream every time that the doctor says this disease is diabolical.
I was just like, diabolical.
Like, damn, what did Batman bring the disease in? What was that?
Right. Like,
first of all, diabolical is just a funny word to me anyway. So when anybody uses it, I'm gonna scream. I don't care if it's serious or not. This disease is diabolical.
Just a mess.
That is
a mess.
That is some old school Batman and Robin talk. Oh, this villain.
Back to your like original question, like if I knew for certain like that was the diagnosis, I really was on my last days and like they had some experimental treatment that possibly could help me, I would definitely just live out my last days.
It's a hard one because the right answer is that I would just blow my money and have a great time and travel and stuff, but I feel like I would spend those last 3 weeks freaking out.
Oh, yeah. I think I don't necessarily think that not freaking out is what I would do. I would be spending my last crying, but also doing all of the things that I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, and we, to me, her coping with this, like the crying was not adequate enough. Because I would have been rolling around on the floor. I'd have spent a couple weeks in bed. I mean, I would have just been really distraught. But I mean, the most we get from her is her that rousing rendition of "Why, Lord, why?" and her banging on the cymbals.
First of all, I thought that was hilarious because I was just like, why did this turn into a praise break? Because she is definitely over here crying her eyes out, like, no, like, why me, Lord? Like, no, if it was like, why me, Lord, but you're gonna do it for me, Jesus, then I could have seen that being a praise break. She was literally over there like, oh Lord, why me? And they was over here clapping and getting happy off the Holy Spirit. And I'm like, sisterins.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Sounds like church to me.
Lord.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pose this question, and then I'm going to add a follow-up question to Terrell's original question. While I was watching this film, I kind of, preparing for this episode, like I kind of watched these films through new lenses, and I was like, we did kind of see how this diagnosis and this like self-discovery kind of changed her relationship with God. And I felt like the Georgia that we were presented with in the beginning of the film was, like I said, somebody who took life for what it was, whatever was handed to them. They didn't question anything. They didn't, cause any, problems, ruffle any feathers. And it's like, as she got this diagnosis, she started with questioning God, why me? And then there were certain parts in the film where she would stop and talk to God and say, why are you doing this? Now you're changing my luck. And I was like, and I am quite certain that y'all were raised like I was, Christian Baptist. We did not question God. And I feel like, now, outside of this film, we are kind of looking at this like spiritual revolution where people are finding new ways to have relationships with God and like to practice their spirituality. So how do y'all feel about questioning God and You could answer that like with this film in mind, or any way you feel about it. Like, what do y'all feel about questioning God and having that kind of relationship where you feel like you can question God?
That's a really great question. I think that God is supposed to be someone in relation with, not necessarily ruled by. So me asking you, yo, what's up? It seems like it's in the realm of things I should be able to do with my father. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. What about you, Terrell?
I think everyone, even if they don't do it in a public forum, something terrible is happening to you. You're like, I've done everything that I thought I needed to do. Why is this happening to me? Why is my life going the way that it's going? Why can't I get ahead? And
right.
it's I believe it's a valid question. I believe anyone with a brain would think I'm doing everything, because she even said it. My sister slept around and got all these kids. I don't do anything bad. I listen to I'm supposed to follow, and this is happening to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would question it. I just would.
Yeah.
Her sister took some shots in this movie, y'all, and she was so. I was like, dang.
Yes.
Just
And
throw her through the ringer.
did you guys see where the sisters' kids were played by Chloe and Haley?
I didn't. I missed that.
Like, I was looking at the cast, and it was like Chloe and Haley, and I was, where? And so I rewatched the film just to figure that out, and it was the sisters' kids, because she had two girls and a boy, and the girls were played by Chloe and Haley.
Wow.
So yeah, I think I already said how I feel about like questioning God. I think that people get so wrapped up into the religious part of Christianity that they forget about, the fact that it should be a personal relationship. And the Bible does leave room for questioning God. I mean, we are only required, as everyone knows, to have the faith of a mustard seed, which is super duper tiny. So I don't think that questioning God takes anything away from your faith. It's just having a personal relationship and talking to God and leaning on guidance, if that's your thing. So yeah, but I thought that it was interesting to watch, as she, even with the little bit of time that she thought she had left, her relationship with God changed and it got stronger. And even though we don't know how much she talked to God before, but from what I gather from her, she was really meek and probably only talked to God when she prayed her little God is great, God is good prayers at mealtime and probably like bedtime. Like, she didn't seem like the type that would have that kind of relationship with God or with anyone else, like questioning and talking back like that. So it was interesting to see that kind of transition. And before we get to the major part of this film, because I feel like we have talked a lot about the beginning, I do want to talk about the scene with the little squirrely boss that she had, where she tore up his damn phone and he needed that.
He needed more than that.
He needed a whole lot more than that.
And there was a part in that scene that really stuck out to me, and it's because I've experienced it more than once. But why are jobs so fucking trash that they do not offer you what you deserve until you're threatening to leave? What is that?
Because they're so effing trash. I was just like, ew, like, you're unworthy, undeserving of my presence anymore, because ew. $1.50? $1.50? No, I want 20,000. How about that?
And then him announcing it on the loudspeaker, like, you were so desperate. And the way he was acting, you would think that she was like dragging their sales down, but she was making the top sales like in the whole department store.
Mm-hmm.
And he treated her like crap.
Pure garbage.
Yes, he did.
Exactly. Like that. And I have experienced that. I remember I quit a job before. And when I was talking to my supervisor about leaving, she was like, she called me back in the office like during my 2 weeks notice. And she was like, are you sure you want to leave? And I was, yeah. and so she sat me down. She put a Post-it note in front of me and was like, write down your price. What can we do to get you to stay? And I was nothing. And I was like, so you mean all this time I could have been writing my price? Like,
Right.
really? So, like, and that him actually saying, I can't afford to lose you, just like hit me all types of ways. I was like, that is just trash.
Straight
So,
boo-boo garbage.
it was boo-boo garbage. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna add a second question. If you had 3 to 4 weeks left, so not so much what would you do, but if you did decide to take a trip and just blow your money, where would you go? Terrell, where would you go?
Ooh, that's a really good question because there's so many places I want to go. I probably would go.
Or you can give me top three.
Top three. Oof, man.
Oh, did I make it harder?
Yeah, that made it even harder. I would travel Europe.
Okay.
Definitely would travel Europe because those countries are kind of close together, so you can get around fairly easily and just see the sights. So definitely Europe. Would definitely travel to Africa, a place I've never been. Always wanted to go. Yeah, actually, those would probably be the two places I'd go. I'd visit a few countries in Africa and Europe.
Okay. All right. Kayla, what about you, babe?
I would go to Tokyo.
Oh, really? It's shocking. Shocking.
Like, which one do I want to go to? Kind of want to go to Africa. Kind of also want to go to Dubai.
Interesting. Okay. I would say that if I were going to choose that time to travel, it's so interesting how we all chose different regions, like, because I've never really been interested in Eastern travel. I would like to go to Brazil. I would like travel Central America, like Belize and all that stuff. And I would like to go to Argentina and I would want to go south. Not so much Eastern, but yeah. And I would like to go to New Zealand. And yeah, so I think those are the areas that I would choose. But
I actually looked up the hotel that Queen Latifah stayed at during the movie. Yes, it's a very nice hotel. I believe it's about
I actually heard the opposite.
Really?
I heard the opposite, but I read a bad article and they were like, it's nothing like the movie and the rooms are small and dirty. And then I saw a deal. I saw a deal on booking.com. It was like $139 a night. And I was, ooh, okay. But what did you find?
They got a 4.6 out of 5 on Google. So
okay. Yeah, well, this was like a booking site, so that'd be the reviews be real kind of ratchet.
Was mad. My water wasn't hot enough. 2 thumbs down.
So where was it?
The hotel?
Yep.
In the Czech Republic. In the city was like.
Okay, so yeah, I was just double checking. Did we find out it was actually the Czech Republic?
Oh, yeah. It's in the Karlovy Vary, a spa city in the Czech Republic.
Well, there you have.
So we get a funny little scene of her on the airplane upgrading to first class, which I could not understand why she did not initially book first class, but
Me,
okay.
I think she didn't book it because she was it was new to her. She was just finally coming into something. She was just doing what she would normally do
mhm.
before she kind of stepped out and broke out of her shell.
I
So
agree. I think that probably she didn't think about that stuff. Because I think she said she had never traveled before because she was like, I've never been
Mhm.
north of Mississippi
Mobile
or
and about.
yeah, something like that. So she probably just booked what she saw and then got on there and was like, oh, okay. And yeah, that first class was nice. And
it
yeah.
was
Now
it was
I
real
have driven.
movie nice.
Right, I was gonna say I've been first class on a flight before, and they ain't rolled
Hmm.
no turkey. So I'm just,
Well,
I feel slighted.
I feel I've been on first class on a flight before, and it was nothing like what you see in the movies. But I just felt that was because it wasn't an international flight. Like,
Hmm.
so have y'all been
Hmm.
in first class on an international flight, like a long flight like that?
Not up first class, but I will say that the international flight that I went on, they still fed me real good. Breakfast,
Hmm.
lunch, and dinner. It was a 16-hour flight, and it was
Ooh,
real good.
Yeah. Okay. Where did you go?
I went to London.
ooh,
Okay.
nice.
Didn't you hear my British accent?
Oh yeah. I'll leave it in London. Okay. Yeah. So so we get all of the typical movie montage of her, checking into the hotel, then also her getting this cosmopolitan wardrobe and
Hmm.
everything, and um let's see, and her ordering all of the food, and like this whole part of the movie is really her kind of magically just amazing everybody. Of
Hmm.
the, oh, there's this woman here and she speaks, she says whatever she wants and she does whatever she wants, and it's like, wow, do people still get fascinated by that shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Because my question to you two is, during this whole part, was she telling it like it is, or was she being judgmental? Because I felt in some parts she was being quite judgmental.
I believe that it was a little bit of both. I think that she had never known luxury before. She thought she wasn't going to fit in with these people. And then she just, I feel like that you get a sense of, I don't know, arrogance. Like, this is my last couple days, and I'm just going to live it as truthfully as I can. And I believe that's exactly what she did. She did not care what she said, she did not care how it came out. She just wanted to be the person that she could be in these last couple of weeks. No more timid, no more shy, just me, however it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like there were certain scenes like you when the when Matthew Cragen's character and his mistress are kissing in the elevator, and she's
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I know who you are, the man for whom enough is never enough." And then looks at her and like, I was like, "Okay, now, lady, that was a little much. You were straight up judging them for their little affair."
I
Little affair.
mean, judgy. Was it judgy? Yeah, but was it like,
I don't
I
like
don't,
slut shaming. Okay.
oh no. Oh
Wow.
Lord.
I know. I know. That was a bit
She
much.
didn't know how to mind her business because I definitely would have minded my business.
I think that she graduated to being an old person. Just speak their mind. They say
Mm,
whatever. It doesn't matter what they say, how they say it. They're going to tell you exactly how they feel and what they think of you. And what are you going
mm,
to do about it? Because I'm old.
Hmm.
That's
yeah.
how I took it. I took it like that because I know people like that. I know older people that just say whatever and they're real reckless with it. And That's the end of it.
Exactly. So is it that it's because they're older because they know they're closer to death, like she knew she was closer to death. So I guess it's interesting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she did kind of say whatever she thought, and in most, I will say, in most circumstances, it was cute and it was refreshing, but then sometimes it did kind of teeter into like judgmental territory, and I was all right, now reel it back in.
Right.
The movie has a lot of fun scenes about um, the airplane ride, the checking into the hotel, the snowboarding scene. Um,
It was outrageous.
that shit was outrageous. And then she made it on a cover of a magazine, which was then
That
published
quick.
the next day. I was like, okay, all right, now. Now that shit wasn't that impressive. Oh goodness. I do think it was kind of interesting that this movie showed us how politics and big business are so in bed together
Oh
all
yeah.
the time.
Big
Oh
time.
my God.
Yes.
Moving past all of the whimsical, magical, I'm this great person in your life that's going to tell you how it is. Um, it did give me some magical Negro vibes. I got to call out the race stuff.
Go ahead and call it out now.
It was a little magical Negro, but it was enjoyable to watch. And every scene was entertaining. Um, and I thought it was cool, that it just came full circle with her running into her main corporate boss. And it's like, before I die, I get to tell you how it is. And I said, well, that's an opportunity that most people don't get. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just kind of tend to view this stuff critically, and I feel like and it's not necessarily because I feel like, oh, that there's a better way that this movie could have been done, or any movie could have been done, but it's like, I feel like you're supposed to, view your world critically, and the media that you take in. And I feel like with Queen Latifah's character, if she had been a black person, if she was a black person helping out these white people in her life, then it's magical Negro. But if she would have been a white person helping out black people, then that would have been white savior. And if she would have been a white person helping out white people, then there would have been no diversity. And if she would have been a black person helping out black people, then it would have been a black movie. So I don't know how that could have been better.
Yeah, when you put it that way, yeah, definitely don't know what could have been done differently.
Mm-hmm.
But because this is a remake.
It is a remake.
From a 1950 film of the same name. So,
Okay.
and we know there was no diversity in that film.
Oh, you can bet your ass. So, and I haven't seen it. So, I mean, but that was a tall order for a 1950s film. So I can safely say that it probably did not have any diversity in it.
Right.
But yeah, and at the end of that movie, that character dies. He actually does die. It's actually a guy that was in that movie who is the lead protagonist, and he does die in the end, but not from Lampington's disease, because that shit's made up. But coincidentally, this movie was supposed to be made well before the 2006 release date, and it was supposed to star John Candy.
Mm-hmm.
But then he died, and it kind of got put on the back burner. And then Queen Latifah's agent suggested her, and there we go. That's what brought our movie to life. So yeah, I have a question for you guys. International travel, does it change your perspective on life?
Um, Terrell, you want to go first?
I've done minor international travel. It's definitely different. You definitely see the world through a new lens it's like you have America and all you know is America and American culture. But when you go over to Germany, you just see things differently. It's definitely an eye opener.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kayla?
I absolutely love traveling internationally because you do, like Terrell said, you kind of learn so much more culture than what we think America is. Oh, yeah, America is gross compared to other countries. Like, you really do get to open your eyes to what people and what we would consider our other cultures like that are worse than America. I'm like, no, these people are living a lot happier than we are. Um, Also, like, you can see how much damage we have done to our it comes to America. When I flew to London, we flew over like I don't know where we flew over, to be honest. I think it was like Greenland, maybe. I don't know. But the grass from the sky was greener than I had ever seen grass. The air, when I touched down, crisp and fresh. And I was just like, wow, we really don't have to live like this.
America is so ghetto.
It is. Like, we are the third world country, sis. Like, no. We are
Yes. Have y'all seen that thing? It's like on Instagram. This lady, she's an influencer, she shared it. She was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe this. Germany has feeding American children commercial." And I was, oh my God, that is so embarrassing. Like they have commercials asking for donations for feed our children in America.
That shit was funny.
Oh my God.
Was funny.
That shit was tragic.
I was just like, yeah,
it's the truth though.
Very true.
That's exactly what y'all get for over here trying to say and make pretend that we are the best country in the world. We not.
Yeah, we're supposed to be leading the pack, but we are so behind when it comes to like hunger and homelessness and healthcare and yeah,
everything that'll keep you alive. Yeah,
pretty much. Pretty much. I will say that as far as like the way I feel about international travel, the only international travel I've done, like I've gone to like Caribbean countries and like Dominican Republic. And so I've always, I don't know how to say this, traveled down. Like I haven't traveled to a country that it like rivals America when it comes to like healthcare and like just environmental stuff. I've always kind of traveled to a lower country. God, I hate to say that, but you know what I mean.
You mean lower on the globe? Yes, I understand.
That physically lower and but economically lower is what I mean.
Yes.
But I will say that it does change I think it does change perspective, and it's just a matter of physics too. Like when you lean back and look at things, you are able to see things from like a wider lens, and so you know you're able to kind of look at how other people are living, and it just like widens your view of the way that you are living. But I say that cautiously because I have heard many people make the argument of like when we talk about like Black Lives Matter and like different like racial issues and stuff, oh well, Black Americans are lucky because it's 10 times worse in other countries. And while that may be true, just because something is shittier somewhere else doesn't mean it's not shitty here. So and you still have to work on these things and not just be like, well, at least it's better than this country. So yeah, so I guess I just be kind of careful with going into that arena. But yeah, it does. I think it does change your perspective in the way that you look at your life and look at yourself. And so we see Queen Latifah's character do that a lot, because when she first looks, she's like, where was I living? Like, oh my goodness, this is just so massive and so beautiful. So yeah, so we get a bunch of great moments where she is talking to God, talking to herself, and she's like, I really enjoyed like the New Year's Eve scene in the mirror where she's like, next time we'll do this and next time we'll do that, and I'm like, are we getting a reincarnation talk here?
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, I often wonder if, I hope that we do come back. Yeah.
Well, I don't want this to be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
It really depends on what's on the other side.
This is true. This is true.
Really depends.
But it's also one of the reasons why I want to be cremated. And I'm in a Black family, and Black people do not do cremation. At least not these Southern Baptists don't. But I just think it's beautiful.
Perked up when you said that.
Really? Yeah. You don't.
Like, what?
I do, because I feel like I think it's a beautiful thing to like let things come full circle and just return to what you came from, and like to be scattered somewhere, to just return back to the earth and be a part of something else. Like, you throw my ashes in the ocean, I'm a part of the ocean now. I think that's beautiful.
Always
was that too deep?
Oh Lord, no. I started saying that I wanted to be planted. Like they can make those pods for you, and I was like, that's so damn cute. I want to be an oak tree or like a whomping willow. Like,
oh Lord, she going to Hogwarts, y'all.
Yes, that's what I want. I want to be a tree.
Terrell, have you thought about that? Like your last rites and stuff like that?
I thought about cremation only from the standpoint of not being a financial burden on my family if I were to leave before them, because it's expensive. All that stuff, it's cheaper to cremate and keep it moving.
I don't think it's necessary to have funerals for real. Like, I just don't need all of that. Like, mourn me in the way that that I don't know, that I would be proud. Like, I don't know, do something that we did together that was fun, which was probably eat donuts. Like, I don't need all that money spent to put somebody in the ground. That's ridiculous.
Count me out. I want a big stupid funeral, which I'm not gonna get.
Oh Lord.
Gonna get, I ain't got no friends like that. Yeah. I don't necessarily want people to act stupid, but I want my funeral to be like I threw it. Like to be like a party that I would have. So I would want drinks.
Open.
Yes. I want everybody to come up, be fashionable, be happy. I would love to like do some video recordings or just like
You're going to be doing the video recording?
Yes, I'd be. Hello, this is me speaking to you from the grave. or from my new resting place, the ocean. And
oh my God. Actually,
don't throw me in the ocean. I'm scared of that shit, man, for real.
Oh Lord.
No, but I would just want it to be like how I was in life. And I want people to get together. I would rather money be spent on like the final funeral and like something that people can be there and enjoy and have that time to grieve and to be together than my actual burial and stuff. And then one thing I be thinking about is like, who came up with that we gonna bury the body shit? Because like there's not gonna be enough earth left if we keep doing this. And like, how was that a sustainable option for getting rid of bodies? I think
they didn't know what to do with the bodies? They was like, well, you can't stay here. So we need to put you somewhere.
You got to get up out of here. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Sure.
So it was probably more of a out of sight, like you're starting to stink, and
Yeah, put his ass in the ground.
Right.
like we still living over here. I can't keep breathing this in.
Right. I wonder how they figured out how far down it had to go. I often wonder, like, a lot of things that we do now. I'm like, who was the first person to think of milking a cow?
Oh God.
Very true.
Like,
And then who was like, tasty.
right? Like, who thought
Right.
to taste it? Like, I have
Yeah.
questions.
I mean, the baby cows like it, so why not? So yeah, but I'm like, we're not gonna have enough space in cemeteries, and people are already experiencing that too, and so they're starting to like build up and like stack bodies, and I'm like, okay. I feel like, and people might disagree.
Weird.
I think like every 500 years they should dig up bodies and throw them away.
I'm sorry.
Not-
What?
Throw them away? Throw
That's
them
so
where?
morbid.
What are you talking about? Oh God! So this is taking live. We've turned this into a horror.
I'm so okay. Listen, I know this is morbid, and I'm probably going to edit this part out because people will want to riot in the streets when I say this shit. But I feel like every 500 years they should dig up bodies and dispose of them. And but there are some like historical bodies that we'll want to keep, like and so if you qualify as a historical body, then they put you in the main American historical cemetery.
No, because how we gonna try to say that daylight life? No.
But they do that. No, they do that with landmarks. So if a building is about to be destroyed, they'll be, oh no, this is a historical landmark. So it's like there's a list of qualifications for historical people, and then you go to the main historical cemetery.
My question is, go ahead.
In 500 years, ain't nobody gonna be around to be like, that was my uncle. No. So yeah.
But
I don't think I would care about the historical people neither. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with their remains?
I mean, but there's a lot of like saints and shit that like are buried in like Italy and like up underneath like Roman Catholic churches and stuff, and so they'll probably want to preserve them.
Do they have riches on them? Because why do I care about your bones? You're dead.
I mean, they've been
unalive.
You've been preserving them all that time, and I'm just like, okay, I who knows what will happen with my life, but I don't foresee me becoming this amazing, like historical figure. So why do my bones need to be around 500, 600 years from now? Like, that's not necessary.
The only person's bones I would probably want is Jesus's. Okay.
That's got his bones
are worth preserving.
So okay. So I'm having a hard time understanding what side of my argument you're on. So do you so are you with us throwing all the old bones in the incinerator or what?
I'm like, if we're gonna do it to everybody, because I don't care about a Roman Catholic's priest. Like, what are their bones going to give us? Like,
the reason why I say the reason why I say historical bones is because there's gonna be like devout Catholics to be, you can't throw away Saint Agnes's bones. They're important to our So and they'll be like, no, this. There are people whose bones who are buried, and they'll go into like celebrities and stuff. You keep their bones and stuff because people still visit their grave sites. Like, people still visit like Martin Luther King and Marilyn Monroe and Aaliyah's not website. Good God, I'm sure they got websites too, but
Yep. Jump to my websites.
If you there, no. But but yeah, so like I'll say if that plan does go into effect, which I don't think people will.
It would only be things that they would get rid of with the quickness. They'd be like, oh, 500. They be digging and chucking into the thing. They be getting us out of here so quick.
This is true, and I feel like it does leave some room for some racial stuff to go on because but yeah, I feel like they'll be like the black cemeteries will go first. That's you right. But
and you know who would have a problem with that? The black people, especially the black church. Like, because if you go to the cemetery in our hometown, that thing goes back to the 1800s.
It really does.
Have a fit. You was out there grabbing a quarterman or something like that.
But then the thing is, like, okay, so you and I know our family cemetery goes back to the mid 1800s, and in the mid 1800s, burial practices were not as sanitary and safe as they are now. So you remember when we would go out to the cemetery, our parents would be like, "Y'all better be careful walking on them graves." My mom used to say that all the time. Yeah, and if I fell in there, y'all might as well just throw the dirt in there too, because I'm gone.
That's funny.
I'm out. Y'all just had to be like, y'all just come on down here and just have the funeral, because there's no point pulling her out. Because you will never get look of shock off my dead face.
Yeah, oh, that's ridiculous.
But that's just my solution. It's outrageous, but I think it could work.
Yes, that is definitely an outrageous solution.
There is no reason to keep them old ass bones around. Like just regular Joe Schmo.
But incinerating the bones, won't that put more carbon into the air? Won't that mess up some other things?
That's how they cremate anyway.
I mean, yeah, but if you're talking about cremating 500 years worth of bones, that's a lot.
I guess. I mean, fine. If you want to worry about the environment, fine. Anyway.
How dare I?
So yeah, so let's we can talk about all those different scenes with her telling it like it is, but let's get into the end part where our two love interests get back together and we can just kind of wrap that up and let that take us out. Why didn't LL Cool J call the damn hotel and just talk to her before he walked in the snow? Because ain't no way he would survive that.
Hold on.
What was that?
Because you need LL Cool J screen time.
Yes, that is the only reason.
Because I would have not been walking in that snow. I would have been like, no, bro. We'll turn around and try this thing tomorrow.
Because I was seeing that snow. First of all, I would have been like, I really love her, and I probably should just tell her, but it's snowing over there, so I'm gonna just call her.
It's snowing over there.
I fucking hate snow. I'm sorry.
I do too.
Yeah, just tickle your fancy.
Hell no. It angers my fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, you and snow can go to hell.
You are not from this planet.
Kayla, every day you get further and further away from God's love. What is wrong with you?
No, I lived in New York, and like when people were like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be so cold." Yeah, there were some cold days, but it was never when it was actually snowing.
She's diabolical. Now this is
that is diabolical.
That's funny.
Hell,
I need all the coats, all the mittens, all the anything I can find to make me warm. I don't know. I'm good with the snow. No, sir. I'm good. Thank you.
I've experienced snow one time, and that was one time too many. And I took Lola out in the snow, and she was in that shit for like 2 seconds. Was like, oh no, it's time. Let's go on back in. Let's wrap this up.
And she looks like a little snowball.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like I see the little videos of puppies running through the snow. Lola was like, you won't see this puppy running through the snow. So yeah, it was cute. It was beautiful. It was cute for like 5 minutes, and I was, oh no, because we, I live in the deep South, so we were not prepared for that. Everything shut down, and like the power was out. I mean, it was not a beautiful snowy time.
Yeah. You visited somewhere, girl? That wasn't even real snow.
It was as real as I want to see.
Lord,
and I don't see
some real snow.
No, hell no. Thank you. Thank you for offering, but hell no. I don't understand how people survive in places where it snows heavily, frequently.
Really?
No, because I did not go to work. Like the snow was gone, and I still didn't go to work because I was like, it's not safe out there. So
that's ridiculous. Now that is ridiculous.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going.
Like I lived in New York, so the wintertime, was I scared at first? Like, oh my God, there are trains that are on top of the ground, so their tracks are getting snowed on. Like, is it going to slip off, and are we all going to die? But no, like it's just dirty because feet dirty, muddy water. Like that's it.
Count me out. So snow look beautiful on Christmas movies, and that's it. No, I just like, and you gotta prepare your car, and they gotta prepare the road, and
especially the states down south, they're not prepared. Texas was not prepared.
Oh yeah, y'all got slammed last year.
Did we? Man, we lost water. Some people lost electricity. Luckily, I live on a main grid that has essential power that can't ever go out. So I was blessed.
Oh yes.
in that aspect. But we did lose water for like a week. That was terrible. It wasn't good.
Oh yeah. Like when we had it, we lost power because our power lines were not able to hold up that snow. And I don't think I lost water, but I know like my job when I was working, they were like, if you can take PTO, take it, because we don't know what the hell's going on. So yeah, fortunately I had the PTO and I took it, and was able to not be there. But like, yeah, I missed work for like a couple of days, and the snow was clearing, and I was, no, there's ice out there that I can't see. I'm not gonna risk it.
Which is a real thing. Black ice
it is a real thing. And
you
then
will
like
slip and slide.
Yes, you will. And we in the South, we hear these scary stories. I was, oh no, I'm not doing that. So, but people live in the snow and go to work and do whatever. And it's one of the great mysteries to me. Like waterfalls in the middle of the ocean. It is that level of mystery to me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So so yeah, I was like, why didn't he call the hotel, and why didn't he wait for her to come back? And I was like, well, did he think that she was going to do something drastic, like a suicide or something there, or was she going to stay in there until she died, and that's why he went?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Because you hear about that a lot. Older people, they'll go on these long cruises where they know they probably won't make it off the cruise, and they just go there to die. And I guess he was like, if I can get the chance just to see her and tell her how I feel in person, even though I won't have much time with her, just having that time with her will be worth it.
Oh, yeah, we do get this grand gesture of love from LL Cool J's character, and that was cool. I would be so pissed if you chose to die in my hotel.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, because right.
Yeah, I'd be angry.
Like,
it gives more character.
If I'll see your ass in 500 years, I'm incinerating them both.
But then it gives it character. You get Ghost. Nice little
Yeah.
ghost hotel.
Bye.
And people do love a good ghost hotel because people in Savannah love coming to check out all the Thompson House and all those different places, and yeah. But yeah, I would be pissed. I mean, yeah. If you knew that your ass was gonna die and you done brought your dead ass in here, yeah, I'd be angry.
Brought your dead ass in here.
Yeah.
Boy, I just hope she got all her money back from these misdiagnoses.
If you die in a hotel room, do they still charge your account? Like,
right.
Yes. Get his debit card out of his pocket and we gonna run these charges.
Right.
He was having a good time, huh? Not having a good time.
You thought you just come over here? You thought you just come over here and die and we'd have to pay your bill?
This is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't come in my hotel and not pay your bill.
That's funny.
That'll learn you. That'll learn you.
That'll learn you. Oh God. So yeah. Oh man. Ooh, where were we? Yeah, let's
Cool J.
Yes, let's wrap this on up because this is the episode. Well, we answered a lot of philosophical questions and stuff. Maybe this is a two-parter episode. Yeah. So we get our couple back together and we get one of my favorite scenes in the movie was where the Matthew Cragen character, he just goes full-blown asshole and calls her out about lying to them. Gives a pretty great speech about you do what you're told and you work, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, how the hell did I get here?
But my thing about it was she never told anyone anything. Everyone there assumed. Everyone there did their own, was like, oh, well, she's got to be this or she's got to be that. She never told anyone anything. She didn't lie to anyone. Said exactly what was going on. Not with her condition, but hey, your store's going to have a poor fourth quarter. She knew that because someone told her that. She wasn't in the business. Worked at retail for 10 years. She did.
Yep. And it was nobody's business of her diagnosis. And I thought it was a very sweet interaction between her and Gunther, the hotel valet. She was like, I'll be with you till the end. And I was like, that was sweet. And how everyone like just connected with her and just wanted to be there for her and was sad about knowing she was going to die, but then also excited to learn that she wasn't. And so I was like, that's pretty good. Just watching how quickly people can come into your life and be touched by the things that you do and say to them. I hate when movies do at the end where they show what the characters are doing afterwards. I hate that shit.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I like it.
I hate that. Just let me just figure it out. Because usually movies that do this are movies that they be so outlandish to where you be like, what?
It was funny though. It was funny what happened to some of the people.
Yeah. But I'm like, no, just let me just live and just live in wonder. Just let me live in wonder. But yeah, so she gets a restaurant and meets Emerald and everything is a-okay in Georgia's world. Yeah. You guys have any final thoughts, final questions about our film?
No, not final thoughts. I thought it was a really good film. Real cute, real classy. Queen Latifah is a queen.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
That's my boo. Um, well, I guess it's time then for our best, worst, and weirdest.
I guess my best would have to be that, she didn't die. Like, she lived, and don't we love to see it? We love to see a living, breathing soul. I really hope she got all her money back and sued the hell out of the people who gave her that wrong diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely needed to sue them.
First of all, sue the department store she worked at.
Mm-hmm.
She need to, at the very least, sue them for all of the times that they broke HIPAA, because Dr. Gupta was not supposed to talk to LL Cool J about anything. And even though LL Cool J did strong arm him, even still, that was a HIPAA violation. And then who sends a damn fax to say, even if it was a misdiagnosis and it was urgent, you still broke HIPAA. You sent a fax without a cover sheet, and you sent a fax.
Just
like,
so much wrong.
Does this hotel not have a phone?
No. Yeah, it was just so much wrong with the violations here. Just ridiculous.
I feel like the movie had such, even though it was a lighthearted film, it had all of the substance was in the middle of the film, like where she finds herself and does all this stuff and touches all these people's lives, but the beginning and the ending were just like thrown out there to just kind of encapsulate the substance and just hand it to us. It's like there was no thought to their beginning, and then the end was like, oh, wrap it up in a nice little bow. You're not gonna die.
Right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt your best, worst, and weirdest. Go on with your worst.
My worst was definitely, again, going back to this underlying Queen Latifah is this big fat one on lean cuisine and watch what she eats and watch what she wears, and she's so heavy. That was so unnecessary in this film. It was just unnecessary. So that's my worst. And my weirdest was definitely the possibility. I just have never in my life seen anyone with a possibilities book in such a manner that has someone's face cut out.
Right.
It was
was totally creep-tastic. All right, Terrell, what about you? Your best, worst, and weirdest?
Best, definitely was Queen Latifah. She was the best. She really showed why they wanted her as the star of the film. The worst was the beginning of the film. Like you said, it was real. It was hard to watch at the beginning, but Queen Latifah definitely saved it. And the worst of the film would have been, or the weird of the film, I thought it was weird how people in positions of power were treated, how they treat people throughout the film. Like the supervisor, he was a jerk throughout the whole thing for no reason whatsoever. I thought that was weird. The medical lady, she wasn't very helpful. I know you said that that's usually how they treat people because there's nothing they can do, but just to pull out, like if you have an appeal and she pulls out this super, super thick book, I was like, nobody's going to read that. That's not going to help. That book is not going to help me. You're wasting my time. I don't have much time left and you're wasting it.
Right.
So yeah, I thought that was weird, but other than that, I really enjoyed the film. Really enjoyed Queen Latifah. Definitely like watching everything that she's in.
Yeah, awesome. I would say for me the best part of the film was I have said this before, but I love movies where a person starts off in the beginning of a film one way and then by the end of the film they're a totally different person. So just watching the trajectory of her character from beginning to end, that's the best part for me. I love seeing growth and just watching people discover themselves, even if they're forced into doing it, like this character was, because facing her impending death. Um, so that would be the best. And of course, with Queen Latifah, driving this film, that just I love her. She's my favorite actress. So yeah, so that'd be the best. The worst would be I wish that the medical stuff was done with a little more respect to the medical field. Because we have a made up disease, and um, we have a made up disease, we have a makeshift medical department, and we also have several HIPAA violations. And it's just like, okay, I understand that this is to push the movie along, but it's like sometimes when films do that, we understand that why they're doing it, but it's like when they do it, it's like they don't respect the people that work in those professions enough to get things right. And so I just kind of hate watching that on screen. But I mean, I get it. It's a feel good film, so whatever. And I would say that the weirdest part of the film was watching Queen Latifah's character and LL Cool J's character awkwardly interact in the first parts because they're both just such big personalities. Like, so that was weird, but it was a good weird. So it was good to see them in that, light. But yeah, so that is the best, worst, and weirdest. And yeah, so how about we go into what we're binging this week? Terrell, what are you binging this week? What are you watching?
Unfortunately, I am watching.
Unfortunately?
Yeah, very unfortunately, because I stopped watching this show so long ago, and then my wife, she jumped back on it for some unknown reason, and that is Love in Hip Hop Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. She told me she started watching that. And I must admit, it is one of my guilty pleasures, but I kind of gave up on it the season right before Tokyo joined, which makes no sense because I absolutely love Tokyo. I do. I love her. She's so ratchetly delightful. And but yeah, so and I keep saying I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I just haven't yet. But so how's that going? All the ratchetness in your living room now?
It's overwhelming. I can't
I know
relate.
that is not your jam, and I know it.
Not at all. I can't relate to any of these. I wouldn't even call them people. I would call them characters because the stuff they do. Like, you would have to be a character to live your life this way. It can't be real life.
Yeah. 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 It's I like it. The only one I watch is Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I just like it because I'm so country. Like, I'll be watching, I'll be, oh, I've been there before. Oh, I know where that is. So I like that aspect of the show. But I do like watching it. And I used to kind of enjoy Black reality shows before they got real dramified.
Mhm.
So, because I've watched Real Housewives of Atlanta too. And in the beginning, like, even though it was always heavily scripted and had heavy drama in it, you still saw the lives that they led. Like, with the early people, like, one was writing a book, the other one was like newly married, the other one was single and dating, and like they showed their lives. And now it's just like 2 minutes of their lives and then like an hour of them fighting and screaming.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. They lean too heavily on the drama. Like, you
Mhm.
can live your life without drama. It can be an interesting life. You can show people what you're doing without
Right.
the added drama because it seems
Mhm.
manufactured. It doesn't seem genuine.
It really does. And every time I'm like, why are they doing this? Because I don't know, maybe because I don't really care for drama. So when they participate in it, I'm always thinking, because they'll have these like trips that they go on every season. And I'm like, I wouldn't go. So I would be the worst. I would be the worst person on a reality show because I'm not going to that. So,
and I think they really want that screen time. They really just like, what can I do to be on screen more? Because I guess it's the more they're on screen, the more they're in the episode, it helps their pay rate, which I understand. You want to get paid if you're going to be doing something. You want to be known, but I wouldn't want to be known for some of the stuff that they end up doing. I'm like, why would you want to be known as a creep? Why would you want to be known as this person who can't control themselves? Every time they're out in public, they're fighting. Why would you want that to be something that is tied to you, to your name?
Right. Yeah, and I guess it's for the fame, and I mean, I get it, but then I also, when people announce that they're leaving the show, I'm like, good for them. But then they come back, and I'm like, okay.
You make it out unscathed.
Right. They usually come back, and so
right on back.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm doing this. This ain't how I live my life. And then you see them a couple of seasons later. Yeah, what happened?
I took some time and I realized that this is how I live my life. So yeah, they come back. But yeah, that's interesting. So that's what's monopolizing your TV this week. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Yes.
Wow. She did tell me that she started Once Upon a Time, so there's that. Maybe
I haven't. I've seen a few episodes with her, but I haven't because I've been gone.
Yeah.
So she's been watching it without me.
Oh, I love that show.
It's pretty good so far. What I've seen is it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that they take a new. It's like a new look at these old fairy tales that we're used to, because in them old fairy tales that we heard as children, they were so vanilla, and it's like, this is not even realistic. That somebody's
down to the real, the nitty gritty, the Hans Christensen
this is
version
true.
of it. Yeah, they're like, whoa, kids won't. You can't tell this to your kids. You crazy?
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like Once Upon a Time leans more towards that, because like it makes no sense. Somebody is named Snow White, and everything that they've ever done was just wonderful, and they were the most beautiful person in the world, and so beautiful that people were jealous of them and wanted to kill them. It's like, okay, well, all right, okay. So yeah, I love that show. I've watched that whole series at least like 3 or 4 times.
Oh wow.
So okay. I love it. And you will love Regina on there. She's my favorite. But this week I finally, and brace yourself now, I finally finished The Good Witch. Air horn.
Yes, thank you. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. So I'll never have to hear of The Good Witch again.
Yeah, we're done. We're good.
Y'all finished The Good Witch. I know that's right.
I finished The Good Witch, and it's great. I'm finally free from the clutches that it had around my throat. So and in case you guys were worried, everybody in the town of Middleton is doing well.
Never had a doubt.
I know you guys were concerned. So I finished The Good Witch, and I haven't started a new show. I'm debating on whether I'm going to return back to Lost, or if I'm going to start Squid Game, or if I'm going to start
Squid Game.
Oh, you haven't watched Squid Game yet?
I haven't watched it yet. I know it's been on my list, and you guys assigned it as homework, but I have not done it yet.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay. But what I did start this week was and I only watched half of it. I got to go back and finish the rest of it today. But that movie Passing on Netflix. Have y'all heard about that?
Yep. It does not seem interesting.
It is something.
Yeah, I'm not interested as much as I don't get me wrong, I love Tessa Thompson. I sure do. I just no.
I feel like this is one of those movies where I need to read more about it before I finish watching it.
I mean, is it not just about someone passing as someone white or someone black? Is that not what the movie's about?
It is about Tessa Thompson's character runs into a childhood friend who she finds out is passing as white. And I'm having a hard time following their artistic direction because the entire movie is in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they did that to make it seem old-timey and to make the two main characters seem lighter. But I don't know if it's because I know that they're black, but they don't look white to me. And I'm like,
at all. Like, I mean, no, they don't.
Now, Tessa Thompson's character is not passing so far. I mean, she's not passing. She's married to a black husband. But the friend that she meets is passing. And I'm like, this lady look black. This don't make no sense.
That's what I told my wife. I said, I was like, both of them are black, right? Because this lady who's supposedly passing does not.
She don't
to
look
me,
white.
You can tell. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not even her. Yeah, it's not even her skin tone. It's like her mannerisms, her face.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has black characteristics, and I'm like, do these white people not see this? Like, or do they see what they want to see? Or I'm quite confused. And I will say it's an interesting take on the whole passing thing, because usually in like old films where we have like a character that's passing and that's like the premise of the movie, usually the character, like when somebody from their childhood meets them, they're like, I'm not black. You don't know me. I've never seen you before in my life. Like, because that was how it was in like Imitation of Life and Pinky. But in this movie, this passing movie, the girl who's passing, she meets Tessa Thompson's character, who she was friends with in childhood. And she's like fascinated with her blackness. Like, I miss being black. I want to hang out with you all the time because I miss seeing Negroes. And it was like,
what?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm having a hard time following this. I mean, I'm going to commit because it's an interesting topic, but
wow.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, she count you out. Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm like, well, and I guess she's still trying to keep her cover, and she's married to like this super racist dude. I'm like, if you're gonna pass, at least marry somebody who might not kill your ass if you find out.
Right.
But this dude is like super racist, like racist as fuck, and it's like a lot. So I'm gonna finish it. So I'll be back next week with the completed synopsis.
Yeah, you let us know how that goes for you, sister.
You could join me on this quest, Kayla.
Can't do it. I'm so sorry.
She said thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah,
I'm uninterested.
I tried, but
it was like that.
So you don't like race movies?
Not really. Not my cup of tea.
Kayla, what you binging on this week? Did you watch Dune?
So I started watching Dune, but we were kind of preoccupied with some other things that I'm gonna have to try to give it another watch. Because we just weren't paying enough attention to see all the juicy goodness that everyone claimed that Dune was. Because what I saw thus far, I was not impressed.
So people have said it's good?
Yeah, I've heard people say that this is like the greatest movie they've seen. They will third hour to it. Like,
oh God.
Ooh.
Raving reviews, and like I saw just did not get reviews. So I'm definitely going to try to give it another watch.
Yeah, it's on my list of it's a ton of shit on my list, but it's on my list to watch because Randall wants to watch it. But I have to be careful with movies like that because movies that are their own world, you got to pay attention to it because you got to take in all that world building. Yeah, like if it's not like everyday Earth or just it's like all you got to learn the world and then figure out what's going on. So I'm gonna watch it, because love and all, but
right.
But yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. For bonus content and to learn more about the show, you can head over to sipsandscripts.com. If you've got a suggestion for a film that you'd like us to talk about, leave us a voicemail and let us know. Or if you have something to add to the conversation or just say hello, leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Sips and Scripts. Thanks again and see you next time.
Lovely. Great show, everybody.
Fun.
Fun.